evening, Tottenham fans. After that defeat to Newcastle, I did a video pointing out that I saw some good things in that game, especially because we had 10 unavailable players. 8 of them would have been probably starting that game. So I was encouraged by the performance considering the amount of injuries we have to the squad. So I got a lot of backlash for that, but I don't care because it's my opinion and, everyone can have their own opinion. In today's video, I want to talk about why we should give Thomas Frank a lot of time and a lot of credit for what he's doing under the circumstances, because last season all I heard was Ange's causing all these injuries are no excuse, he should still be playing more pragmatic to get points on the board. Well, Thomas Frank is doing that, and now people are saying that he's not good enough. There's a point where I just stop listening to these people now, because it just becomes ridiculous. It becomes a point where it doesn't matter what you say or what you do, they're going to find a reason to moan about something else, and the narrative will change. If Thomas Frank wins the next 6 games, the narrative will change to it's boring football or something. There's always something. Anyway, in today's video, I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about transfer rumours. There's a lot of transfer rumours going around at the moment. Obviously, January transfer window is opening soon. Parachichi will be on top of that. And I think that's why the reports come out, because he's always on the phone and always looking for who he wants next. They're quite unrealistic transfers, to be honest, but I'll go through that in today's video as well. And also I want to talk about the injuries as well, as we've got a couple more injuries and soon we're going to be down to the bare bones. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody that contributes and continually speaks to me in the comments. It's really much appreciated. So firstly, there's a player that Real Madrid and Liverpool want to sign of ours. One of our players, and it's not Christian Romero. It's Mickey van de Ven. Now, the reports are saying that Mickey van de Ven is worth about 100 million euros or something, or 100 million pounds. I don't know what they didn't specify, but it just said 100 million. But even that, would you sell Mickey van de Ven for that much money? I wouldn't. He's 24 years old. He's rapid. He's getting better and better in the air. Like, people were saying Mickey van de Ven isn't good in the air. Well, he just scored 2 goals from a corner. When I looked at his stats for clearing the balls out the box, he does that like continuously every single week. Like I said, he's rapid. He's strong. He's good in the tackle. Like I said, he's good with aerial duels as well. He's good at bringing the ball out from the back. He's basically an all-round defender that there's not many defenders in the world that you will find like this player. So if we sold him for 100 million, you won't be able to replace him. Now, I'm hearing you shout through the screens, what about Vuskovic? Yeah, well, Vuskovic is an insane defender as well. He is probably one of the best defenders in Germany, in the Bundesliga at the moment. His stats are incredible in that league at the moment. I will do another video on his stats. I did one before, but his stats are getting even better. He's the monster at winning aerial duels. He's really clinical going forward as well. He creates chance after chance, and he's a defender. There was a video about him doing an overhead bicycle kick in training. I saw him do it, and it was a bloody brilliant overhead, especially for a centre-back, a 6'4" centre-back as well, by the way. So people were saying, well, Vuskovic can take Van de Ven's place, but wouldn't you rather have Van de Ven, Romero, Danso and Vuskovic as your as your 4 defensive, people to be in your squad? Like, I would have all 4. Imagine how strong your squad would be in them 4 defenders. It's absolutely insane. I would not sell Van de Ven I wouldn't even sell him for 120 million. there will be a price where Spurs might think about it. I think if it went to 150 million or something stupid like that, Spurs may consider it. But then Danso's going to have to want to leave as well, and I can't see him wanting to leave. He's still got 3 or 4 years left on his contract at the moment, and Spurs are looking to sign him up to a newer contract to give him more money, which I think will be a clever option to do as well. Because I think he's only on 50 grand a week at the moment. I think it's on something like that, something quite low, something that would surprise you anyway for how good he is. So I wouldn't sell Mickey van der Ven. I really wouldn't even put him up for sale. I'll just keep him because he's one of those rare defenders with all the attributes he's got. Not many defenders out there like that. Now the players that we are linked to. One of them is Scott McTominay. You know, the guy that used to play for Man United, and Man United fans didn't like him very much. So he went out to Italy, went to Napoli, got Player of the Year, scored 12 goals, got 4 assists, and he won the league title in Italy. They love him in Napoli, and he's playing out of his skin. He's a goal-scoring midfielder. Man United kept playing him as a defensive midfielder. I don't think that's what his game was. I think he always wanted to go more forwards. I think they're probably regretting selling him now. But would you guys take Scott McTominay in the side? Now, I definitely would take him in. Like, my father-in-law is a Man United fan, so I watch Man United quite a lot, and I used to say to him that McTominay's a good player, and he used to go, oh no, he's not that good, and you know, we need better than that. And now he's gone, he's saying to me, wow, actually he's actually pretty decent, he's better than what we've got now. So yeah, he would get into our side 100%, and he'll be a very, very good squad player as well, somebody that will, you know, try and win the ball back for you, score goals for you, challenge, put in tackles. Yeah, he's an all-round good midfielder. So I would take him, but it's one of those unrealistic things where if he's banging it out in Italy, why the hell would he come back? But there was a report saying he would come back and play in England to prove himself. But there was another report saying he's really happy at Napoli. So happy at Napoli. So I'm assuming he will stay at Napoli. Now, another one we're linked to, this is even more unrealistic. I don't think this will happen in a million years, but Jarrod Bowen, Spurs are looking at Jarrod Bowen. Now, we've already taken Kudus off their hands, and I don't think West Ham fans were saying, take him, he's not that good. I think they were just heartbroken, to be honest, and they were just lashing out. But yeah, I can't see this happening whatsoever. I'll take Jarrod Bowen in a heartbeat, don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant player. But he plays on the same side as Kudus as well. And what the problem was with Kudus last season was he couldn't play in his preferred position on the right wing. Unless you bring Kudus into the middle and play in the 10 and put Bowen out on the right, then that could be a brilliant thing to do. But I don't think Bowen, I think all his family support West Ham, he loves West Ham. I just don't think he would do the dirty on them and come to us. I think he would just either go to a Man City or maybe a Liverpool, because Salah is now, losing it a bit, like the whole Liverpool team, to be honest. But he may have a bigger move than Spurs, to be honest. So, and yeah, Spurs are too much of a rival for Bowen to come to us. So yeah, I just can't see that happening. But I'll take him, definitely would. Let me know in the comments if you would take him. So one more thing I want to talk about is Thomas Frank. We have to be patient with this guy. There's so much going around on Twitter, and I know I shouldn't listen to Twitter, and I do ignore most of it, but I just want to give my point of view on it, and I want to get your view on what I'm talking about, because Thomas Frank gets a lot of stick if he loses a game, and it's over-exaggerated stick. It's like when we lost to Newcastle, it's like, that was dreadful, that was crap, that was rubbish. Thomas Frank don't know what he's doing. He should have played a stronger 11. I'm like, are you even a Spurs fan? Do you even know we haven't got a stronger 11? They're not available. Do you understand this? Like, the players he's playing are the only ones he can play that are fit enough to start. He didn't start Kudus because he needs to rest him at some point. You've got to rest him at some point. Paulinho had to play. He said Archie Gray would have played if he didn't get injured. So Paulinho had to play at centre-back instead. Otherwise we would have had Paulinho in the midfield, and I think that would have made a massive difference if we had Romero fit, for example. Then Paulinho could have gone in the middle, and we would have been a much better side. We had 10 unavailable players for the Newcastle away game, and I still think we put in a quite half decent performance. I don't think it was that bad. I think a lot of the players played pretty well. Newcastle just played better, and normally we go to St James's Park with a fully fit side and still get battered. And I mean battered. We've been there before and gone 5-0 down within 20 minutes. In this game, I think we battled very, very well. I think our pressing was really good. I think our in play was much better. I think our patterns of play were better. I think our work rate was good. Our forward line really let us down. I think it's really poor. I think Johnson and Richarlison don't really offer us anything. So as soon as you put Mawani on, you see a difference already. You see the class. You see Kudos coming on the pitch, taking on players. You see a massive difference. But we can't. But Thomas Frank is playing twice per week. You've got to understand, when you've got 10 players missing, you've only got 15 available players in your squad, and you've got to rotate them as well. It's not easy. And I was saying the same about Ange last season. I said, you've got to give him some sort of break. If 90% of your first team is out, you can't get results every week. It's almost impossible. But Frank is, and people are still not happy. It's really hard. It's harder than people think to try and because you must think how paranoid he is to be playing the players he's playing and try not to play them too much, because if they get injured as well, he's screwed. If we get injuries to Kudos and Paulinho and Van der Ven, we are screwed. We are honestly screwed, because there's no one to come in to cover them. And with Archie Gray's injury now, which is the other injury I was talking about, Archie Gray and Odegaard are injured now. But Archie Gray's more important, because he would cover that left back if your doggy's not there. He would cover that centre back or in the centre midfield or the right back. He would be the guy. And he does a half decent job, in my opinion. I haven't actually seen him play a bad game this year, so I'm really upset that he got injured. The news is he's going to be out for about 4 weeks. So after the international break, he should be back. But that doesn't help us now. And we've got to play Chelsea. We've got to play Man U. We've got to play Champions League. So it's not going to be easy. I think people should just lay off Thomas Frank. And by the way, after saying all of that, we're third in the league. Third. I know people are saying, well, see what happens in the next few weeks. I guarantee we're not third. Well, again, we've got 10 players missing. I'm hoping that Romero and Udogie are fit for the Chelsea game. That would give us a big boost, and that would give us a much better chance of getting some points out of them. But our home form is absolutely terrible, so it's going to be very, very difficult. But again, let's just take it game by game. Let's just, get behind the boys, get behind the manager, and just see what he can do. We've got January coming up. We're linked to these sorts of players. I don't think we'll get McTominay or a Bowen, to be honest. But we do need to get some top quality players in. Maybe 2 more top quality players. Just to fill in some gaps. Maybe a striker and a left winger. Maybe a left back as well. And a number 8. There's still a lot of work to do, to be honest, if you actually think about it. But if you get these players for Frank, and you get the right players for Frank, the players that Frank actually wants, then this could actually work. I'm seeing a lot of positive signs. I really am. Let me know what your thoughts are in this video about those links to the transfer, and would you sell Mickey van der Ven, even if it was 100 million? Thank you for watching. Come on, you Spurs.